Tip-off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event. Dropkick now and powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, what is up? Oh, captain, my captain, show the stuff. Power slammer, suplex 2. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a code red. Figure 4, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it do. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark here, back with you again, as always, here on another Friday. Happy Friday to you. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you've had a good week. My week has been pretty good. I don't have a lot to complain about. Well, give me enough time. Let me think. Yeah, maybe I've got a little bit, but I'm not gonna. You want to know why? Because it's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. Things will work out in the end. It'll all come out in the wash. And any other number of, bits of cliched nonsense I can think to throw up at you. Before we get started here today, kids, if you will, do me a favor, smash the like button for me, if you will, please. I would very much appreciate it. And as we always ask you to do here on the show, kids, and this would mean a lot to me too, if you could share this on your feed, share it on your socials, share it on the Facebook, of course, share it wherever you would. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And again, that would mean loads to me. Give me just a sec here. The background here, I want to be sure that we are golden. I had to adjust this quite a bit, thanks to my new YouTube exclusive show. If you've not heard of it, it's Tom Clark Reviews. Fernando's in the crowd. I've already seen him. Fernando has been commenting. Fernando, I appreciate you very much, my friend, for watching the videos, for leaving comments. If you guys out there have not done so, please subscribe to the Boink Studios YouTube. I'm going to drop it here in the chat, so there will be no excuse for you good people out there to follow us on the YouTube. Again, I would very much appreciate it. And bam, there you go. The Boink Studios YouTube is shared in the chat. If you will, kids, do me a favor, go and like that. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff on the YouTube. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for that. So we are going to review today AEW Double or Nothing. We had Joe Higgins on last week. I tried to line up a guest or two today. Everybody's got stuff going on, so it's no worries at all. I'm flying solo, as I've done here many, many times in the past. This is episode number 378. By the way, kids, we are churning right along. We are 22 weeks away from episode number 400. Can you believe that? Hard to believe, kids. We're on the way to 4 and then to 500 eventually. So again, we got to thank everybody here for continuing to support the show. Speaking of continuing to support, as you guys know, I have never put anything behind a paywall. I'm not going to do so now. However, if you'll look on your screen right now, kids, you'll see a little something for buymeacoffee.com. And you know what it requires from you? Nothing. If you don't want to give, it's totally fine. Money's tight for everybody, so I totally understand. It's no worries at all. But if you wanted to throw a couple of bucks my way to pay for a cup of coffee from me, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I have no desire to put my stuff behind a paywall. Will the time come when I have to do so? I'm in control of that. If nothing else, I would line up some exclusives. If you go to that website that I just mentioned, you can see it there on your screen, folks. If you go to that, there's actually, if you sign up for a monthly, and it's like $5 a month, that's all it is. You'll get a live segment here with me on the show, one segment per month. And it would be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it looks like. And again, $5 a month, that's all it would take. I may add some other levels to it as we go. Not sure yet. But again, kids, if it's something you don't want to do for whatever reason or can't afford, I totally understand. But if you appreciate my work, if you appreciate the time and effort that goes into this podcast and to my other shows into the YouTube channel, as any podcaster will tell you on our level anyway, none of us are getting rich off this stuff, okay? And we're definitely not getting rich off the listeners, okay? And that's not what I'm trying to do here. However, as I said, though, if you would like to throw in a couple of bucks, I think you can do as small as $2 on there if you want to and go as high as you want. Ray All Day has done it for me, and I appreciate it. Again, if you can't, it's no worries. I don't hold anything against anybody. Okay. Now that bit of business is out of the way, let's get some hellos. Fernando, as we mentioned, is here. Thanks for hanging out, my friend. Robbie, good to see you, my friend. David Down Under is here. My family and I are doing quite well. Thank you, sir. I hope you and yours are as well. JP is here. Good to see you, my friend. Good afternoon, Gerald. How are you, sir? Hey, man, I'm digging that avatar you got there. There you go, Gerald Schwartz. Do you know what your Jedi name is? There's a way to do it. There's a couple different formulas that you can do online. I did it myself. Because you have to go. It's all right. So it's the first 3 letters of your last name and the first 2 letters of your first name. So for me, it's Klato. And then for the let's see, for the last name, it's the first 2 letters of your mom's first name, and the last 3 letters of your son's middle name is some weird stuff. But anyway, my Jedi name was Klato Julin, which, by the way, sounds like a Star Wars name, doesn't it? I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. There's probably more than one formula to figure it out. But, again, it's like, you could probably find it there if you want to. Anyway, I digress. Sandy in Germany, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Fernando, I couldn't agree more. Double or Nothing was absolute fire. So Sandy, thank you for asking, my friend. It is similar to Patreon. I don't have it completely built out. If you would like the link, I'll go ahead and share it here in the chat if you guys want to go take a look. Again, there's only one level as we speak right now, and it's a $5 a month. It's just called Get a Shout Out. It's Get a Shout Out plus 1 live video segment per month on the show. It's $5 a month. That's all it is. And, if that thing were to take off, then maybe I would do like a level that's $10 a month that maybe you get, 1 live segment a month, and maybe you get, I don't know, a live review of like a live pay-per-view or event or whatever that looks like. I haven't really gone too awful deep in the weeds on that yet. I tried the Patreon. I'm on Patreon. I didn't get much action, but to be fair, I never really pushed that hard either. So, but yeah, again, kids, no one's obligated to do anything. You can see it there on the screen. The link costs you nothing. They're not, I'm not asking for your email or anything like that. So I'm not selling your information. And I researched the site before I signed up for it to use it, and it seems pretty legit. So yeah, it's just another way for creators to, to recoup some of the expense. And I don't want to spend any more time on this, but I just want to throw that out there. Doing this stuff is not free. If you were to do like a straight to YouTube show and that's all you want to do, there's no charge in that. I mean, your biggest expense would be the mic and the headphones. And then if you're using like if you're streaming, like using StreamYard, then that's going to cost money. There's a free version of StreamYard that doesn't cost any money, of course, but it's very, very, very limited. So if you're paying a monthly subscription, yearly subscription for a streaming service, then that's going to cost money, of course. So yeah, that's an expense. But see, for me, I don't just upload to YouTube. My podcasts go out on all the podcast platforms. Well, I have to pay for that. That's not free either. I go through a host service, it's actually through Libsyn, and I pay a monthly fee, and it's paid per podcast. So yeah, it can get expensive. But there again, I don't want it to get to the point where I'm putting stuff behind a paywall, because honestly, in my opinion, unless you've got like thousands and thousands of followers, I think that's a pretty good way to lose business. And I don't want to lose business. I like hanging out with you guys. I very much appreciate you always giving me your time and hanging out with me live, and hopefully checking out the recorded shows, Tom Clark 6M podcast and the others we have there on Boink Studios. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, again, this is not me with my hat in my hand begging for money. I don't want anybody to think that. I don't want anybody to think I'm just trying to hit you up, make everybody feel guilty or something weird. Nothing like that. That's all. Fernando says Double or Nothing had 2 match of the year candidate, Mercedes versus Tony. Mercedes versus Tony and Will Ospreay versus. So Mercedes, I don't know what you're talking about, the match of the year candidate. Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter. Is that what you mean? By the way, I agree. Fantastic match. Sugar Shane, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Sandy, I appreciate you, my friend. Air Jackson's here. How are you, my friend? Maria on the YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with us. All right, kids. Well, let me tell you something. If you are into the AEW Double or Nothing, then you enjoyed the show. As is always the case with the AEW, they put on a heck of a show, baby. Let me just tell you. Jose Nava, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for watching on the YouTube. If you will, sir, follow the YouTube. I got no paid content there. Once you hit subscribe, the next thing to ask is not to get money from you. So if you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube channel there where you're watching me, Boink Studios on the YouTube, I would very much appreciate it, man. That would mean loads to me. And by the way, thanks for watching. So yeah, we're going to talk about AEW today. We'll talk a little bit about Dynamite. We may even try to cover a couple of different news things that are happening. There's a couple of things I've got opinions on. Shocker, right? But we'll see how the day goes, and if we get there, we get there. Okay. Let me turn that screen down because I'm not much for the white screen, man. All right, there we go. So let us talk. What's up, Danny? Danny said we'll be at both when worlds collide and Money in the Bank. Fantastic. Have fun, my friend. Let's talk a little bit about All Out. There were two matches on the pre-show. I did not watch the pre-show. I just haven't had a chance to catch it. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron defeated Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. And then Bandito, AR Fox, and Los Titanes del Aire, which is Hologram and Commander, defeated RPG Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta, and Crew, Action Andretti, and Leo Rush by pinfall and 8-man tag. And then we get to our main card, and we're just going to zip down the card here, get you guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think about the matches, what you thought about who went over. By the way, Joe and I did a bang-up job on a preview show. You want to know why? Because one of us picked one to win, and the other guy picked the other. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I know it's a cheap way out, but you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of doing prediction shows and never hitting the mark. You'd think I've never watched this stuff before, never analyzed it, never written about it, never been in it. You would think all those things are 100% true. However, none of those things are true at all. At all. It's just that I've never been great at predicting. I just like to watch the show. That's all. I just like to watch. I'll analyze what happens, and you and I will talk about it. But that's really the extent of it, okay? But let's talk about a match that's already been mentioned here. Mercedes Moné defeated Jamie Hayter to win the 2025 Women's Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Final. This was fantastic. Jamie Hayter is wonderful. I mean, you guys know that. Jamie Hayter is wonderful. Mercedes, since she left WWE, let me just tell you something, man. This notion, and I'm not saying anybody here does this, but you guys have seen this before. This notion where if you leave WWE, you're dead. Like you're dead to those folks because they don't watch any other wrestling. And that's fine. You can watch what you want. Okay. I don't care. I don't bag on anyone for not watching every company. There's only so many hours in the week and in the days of the week. And sometimes there's just no time to do anything else except just watch the company that you enjoy, and then you move on with your life. I get it. I'm that guy too at times. I understand. But this notion that's out there that exists for some WWE fans that the moment that someone leaves, they're dead to them. They don't care about the woman that used to be called Sasha Banks unless she returns and is called Sasha Banks again. That's fine. You know what I mean? But like, in my opinion, she's doing the best work of her career outside of WWE. That's how I feel. I just think she's doing the best work of her career by far. I just don't. I think she's blossomed. I think she's improved. You know, if you guys remember when she was Sasha Banks, you know, there was talk about, is she that good? Is she as good as Charlotte? Is Charlotte as good as Bayley and all this other stuff? The four horsewomen thing that they had going for the longest time. You know, at any given time, the then Sasha Banks was, you know, depending on what your mood was that day, you either hated her in the ring or you loved her. But I'm gonna tell you, man, if you think right now that she sucks, like this incarnation of this woman sucks, I just don't know what to tell you because she is fantastic. Again, she's come such a long way. She's killing it. I think getting to travel the world and wrestle, the women in Japan and wrestle in other promotions, I think has been very, very good for her. And I love it. I love that she is the most well-rounded performer she's ever been. And look, let's be honest. Would she ever say, would she ever discount a return to WWE? You'd be crazy to discount a return to WWE. You want to know why? Because as a talent, you got to keep your options open. I respect that actually. I mean, I think she's doing the best work of her career right now, and I wouldn't want to see her go back. However, it's not my call, and if it's something she would want to do, that would be completely up to her. But yeah, again, keep your options open. I think it's just smart business, honestly. JP says very long but good pay-per-view, as is often the case with that company, right? For sure. Gerald says great match, but figured Monet would win. It. I have several complaints with AEW. Everybody here knows that. I've made no secret about it. I don't watch WWE full time. Haven't done it in years. I got feelings. I got thoughts. You know what I mean? It's fine. But like, in terms of AEW, again, I have complaints. I have things that I complain about all the time. But I just one of the things that gets to me oftentimes is the fact that we'll know who's going to win before they win. That will drive me nuts. Honestly, it drives me nuts. Like, and you can tell from a mile away. Now, having said that, there will be moments that they'll do something. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy just won. And we mentioned, I think, on the show last week about New Japan tournaments, the G1s, Best of Super Juniors, and all that. Whenever you see those tournaments, they'll put guys over out of the blue. That's one of the things I really respect about New Japan is that they'll just, you wouldn't think someone's going to beat like the world champ or the guy that just lost the world title or whoever it is, and that guy will get the pin. I like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right, and I agree with you. I figured Mercedes would win this as well. Fernando says, this is the best women's match of the year, in my opinion. That is high praise because there's been some great women's matches this year, man. Maria says the tribalists are always going to tribal. It's what they do best. I could not agree more. It's a shame that it's like that, right? It's a shame, but that's just how it is. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. Yeah. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Again, I was here for it. I think both ladies did wonderful. I'd love to see them work again at some point. But we saw the debut. Was it Tekla? Thekla? I don't want to mispronounce her name. Joe called it last week here on the show about the spiders on the screen and everything. He called it. And I don't know anything about this person. I just don't. I got to do some homework. I'm just being honest with you. I've heard of her. I've heard of her name. I've heard that she's very good. I've just not checked her out. So I'm going to do so. I'm going to do a deep dive on her and see what I can see. And, is she walking into a company with an already bloated roster? Brother, you better believe it. Does that mean she can't get over? Not at all. She can get over. It's just a matter of how far will they let her go to get her over? Will they let her get over? Will they get her over themselves? Does that make sense? But yeah, we'll see what happens. I would love to see Mercedes circle back to hate her, but Mercedes is on to Tony now. So we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about FTR with Stokely defeating Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness with Matt Menard. That's Daddy Magic to you folk by technical submission. Man, I was wrong last week when I said that, Magic Mike there, Daddy Magic, DJ Magic, was going to turn on Garcia. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was going to. Maybe the plan was, and then they changed it. I'm just throwing it out there because they had the spot the week before where Garcia's in the ring talking about he's going to do this for this people. He's going to do it for Daddy Magic. And he's giving him this look behind his back as if to say, what are you talking about? That to me was a flat out dead giveaway that something about to happen. You know what I mean? Something about to happen. Now, nothing happened. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen. JP says, I hate it when the matches are too predictable, like a few of the matches in this pay-per-view. You're right. Can't disagree. Can't disagree. No, I never saw Danny turning on Nigel. I saw Daddy Magic turning on Danny. That's what I thought was going to happen. I don't think Danny should be going heel again anytime soon. That's just me talking. I think leave him where he's at. Danny says talk about world champs, Dean Ambrose. Are you talking about thinks he's well, look, I've made it known I'm not crazy about this gimmick that they're doing with Mox. And it's not really for me. Again, I'm not insanely wild about it. But, do I think that he's going to lose it all in against Hangman? It's possible. All signs kind of are pointing to it. Will it happen? I would not be surprised if it didn't happen. They seem hell-bent on keeping that belt on on Mox. And look, I got love for Jon Moxley. I do. And I don't hate the Death Riders gimmick as a whole. And now, if you ask me, Tom, are you happy with it all the time? No. But I don't have to be. Does that make sense? Like, I don't necessarily have to be. If there's a plan that they're moving toward, there's things that they're doing behind the scenes that I may not be privy to. Well, that's just how it is. And, it is what it is with that. I can't sit here and complain about it one way or the other. I mean, I guess I could. I have before, haven't I? But I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. It's supposedly behind the scenes, they're very happy with what they're doing. They're very happy with the response they're getting. Apparently, they're doing good business with John as the world champ. I got thoughts on that. I've said them here before. JP says I need to do something with Daddy Magic. Is getting stale and not really. He just kind of stands around. He's got a great. Daddy Magic has excellent. He's got great presence. I couldn't get it out. He's got great presence. When you see him on camera and with a mic in his hand or doing commentary, he's got it. How far will he go with it in that company? I can't answer that. But he's got it. And in my opinion, he's got it more than Danny does. I'm not saying he's better in the ring than Danny is. Danny's very good in the ring. But in my opinion, Daddy Magic he's just one of those guys that he just has a button. And when you hit that button, he's on. He is all the way on. And I love that about him. I think he's got way more presence on the mic and on camera than anybody really gives him credit for that company's willing to do with him. That's how I feel. I'm a big fan of his. But I did see him turning heel. I still don't know how I feel about the FTR thing, about these guys. They're much better heels. I can't deny that. Stokely's with them because they basically didn't have anything else for Stokely to do, supposedly. I don't dislike Stoke, but I will say this. When you put him with somebody and it doesn't work, and you put him with somebody else and that person kind of makes it known they don't want to work with him. I'm not saying these things happen 100%, but I can tell you things that I maybe know or whatever. I mean, it's just, he seems to be the common denominator. Does that make sense? And I don't dislike the guy, but he showed up in like regular clothes on Sunday, and I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? Like, do I mean he needs to dress up in a tux like Paul Jones used to do? Do I mean he has to wear a Paul Bearer suit like Paul Bearer? Do I mean he needs to carry a tennis racket or a phone? Or, even do the Alex Everhantes thing and wear warm-ups. I'm not saying any of that stuff. But I do think he needs something. I don't know what that something would be, but I don't know. Something more than street clothes. Don Callis is always dressed up. Again, doesn't have to be a suit. I don't care if it's not a suit. But it kind of feels like he's just hanging out in the back and they'd send him out there with somebody. Hey, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I don't dislike Stoke at all. It's just one guy's opinion, man. That's all. JP says, but All In is the biggest AEW pay-per-view of the year. This would be the best possible place for Moxley to drop it. I think he will. I would not be surprised if he did not. I'm with you, and I agree, and I think it'll happen. But, man, the road to get there has been just some of the craziest, nonsensical booking that I've seen in a while with the world title, or ever. Maybe not ever. but in a while with this company and especially with the world title. I don't get it. I don't understand it. A part of me says Heyman's not winning that belt. They're saving it for Darby. They're going to save it for Kingston. I don't know. You're not wrong, JP, but we've seen stranger things happen. So if he doesn't lose, I will not be shocked. And he said to me, Wheeler Utah looked better when he was under the mentorship of William Regal and Daniel. You talking about physically look better in terms of like in the ring? I mean, the focus was different then, right? The whole focus was, Regal's leading the pack, and we're getting the next generation ready. And Wheeler Utah takes a beating because we're making him better, and we're breaking him down to build him back up in our image, and we're making him better. But all that's gone. Death Riders now just beat people up. That's all they're doing. So to me, the gimmick changed, the angle changed. So now he's a thug, and it's fine. They're all thugs. That's who they are. I like Utah a lot. He's very good. And he's hanging out with John Moxley and Claudio and learning so much. I mean, you should be so lucky to learn from guys who have done it a lot longer than you, been around the world, been in front of sold out arenas and stadiums. I mean, that's some great stuff. He is. I mean, I don't know the guy, but like, I bet if you asked him, he would tell you that he's learned so much from the Death Riders and other guys in the back. And yeah, I think he's great, man. Fenner says Stokely doesn't fit with FTR. I agree. JP says Yuta needs a haircut badly. He's got a bald spot happening on top, doesn't he? Did I not see that correctly the other night? Maybe I didn't see it correctly. That means he ain't cutting that hair anytime soon. Hello, James Chapman. What do you think about last night's Monday Night Raw? My friend, I do not follow WWE full time. I apologize. I can't comment on WWE. I can comment on news and headlines if you'd like to. If you'd like to discuss a little bit of something here and there. But yeah, that's not. Yeah. Hey, I'm just being honest. There's a lot of stuff, but it's not the talents. There's just that company's not. They're just not for me. I won't go into it. I wish them well. I wish the talents well. Don't necessarily wish that company well. I wish the talents well. Just how I feel. Let's see. We've got Danielle Nasir Mirza. My friend, if I butchered your name, I apologize. How are you, my friend? Thank you for watching on the YouTube. By the way, if you are watching on the YouTube and you have not subscribed to the Boink Studios, right there where you are, hit that button for me, kids. Whoever's watching from the YouTube, I would greatly appreciate your time. No paywall, not trying to get your email or your money. Just, if you will, hit that follow, that subscribe button, and go down the rabbit hole. I'll go to the podcast on the channel there besides the main event. If you like pop culture stuff, please and thank you. That means loads to me. My friend, I apologize for getting your name wrong. My apologies, sir. Not what I intended to do. How can I pronounce your first name? How do I know without you telling me? Danielle? I don't want to call you Daniel. I don't want to Americanize it, and I don't want to offend you or anything like that. You got a great pick there, by the way, dude. My picks are never that cool. You know what I'm saying? I just don't look cool. This guy looks cool. I'd never look cool in my life. I'm not kidding. Beard, no beard, black, no black, doesn't make a difference. My picks are never cool. Every time I have a headshot taken, I just look like I don't know, like a teacher or something. It's never like smooth, suave, debonair. That's not me, dude. You know what I mean? I could pretend, but nobody would believe it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much. Thank you again for watching. It's funny, man. I worked in crypto for a couple of years, and I met and talked to people all around the world, and it was challenging sometimes with the names, but I was always trying to be respectful because I don't want to disrespect anybody, right? And there was a couple of folks that well, more than one that was in our ecosystem that were in Africa, and so What was good for me was that those guys use nicknames, because a lot of crypto dudes use nicknames because it's a thing, because they don't like to dox themselves. So I got off easy because I found out a couple of their names and I'm like, man, this is going to be tough. And I was always trying to be cool with everybody. And I'm like, I had the easiest to pronounce name on the planet because it's so plain and vanilla. Tom Clark. If you can't say Tom Clark, you know what I mean? But then I hear these exotic names that sound freaking amazing and sound intelligent when you say them, and they're awesome. And that's never my name. And it sucks. You know what I mean? This is basically, this whole show is going to be me talking about how my name's not good enough, and this isn't good enough. I just uplift everybody, don't I? I just, this is a great pep talk for everybody watching. This guy hates himself. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Gerald says, did a Chat GPT version of myself for Star Wars Day. Oh, fantastic. What did I think of the acquisition of AAA by WWE? I am not for it. I don't like it. I don't like monopolies. And I think if AEW today called WWE and said, we want to sell, they'd buy. I think they would buy TNA. I think they will buy TNA eventually. Just like they've done in the past. I'm not big on monopolies. If it's good for the talents and the AAA guys are getting opportunities on live TV and in that company and getting over, I think it's great. And it's nothing the talents did, but I'm not crazy about it, if I'm being blunt. And honestly, I wasn't crazy when Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. If Ring of Honor had not shut down, then I would probably be dead set against it. But they were down. It was over, basically. And Tony's like, we got to save this library. And we don't want WWE to get their hands on it. And I want to keep the titles in circulation. Now, we can argue all day long about how they've done it, how it hasn't been awesome. And I can't argue with that. But at the same time, I would much rather ROH exist in some form or fashion, at least being respected, than for it to have completely closed down and be gone forever. But AAA wasn't gone, right? It was still in operation. But look, it's just me. Have a face for radio. That's what they've been saying about me for years. Crypto is complicated. It can be complicated. Can we just be honest? If you don't know anything about it, my friend, it can be complicated. I won't get into it. We'll be here all day. Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. When Briscoe came back out later in the show, are you freaking kidding me? I could watch Briscoe work Kyle Fletcher and work Ricochet independently, three-way, four, it doesn't matter, all day long. He's got great chemistry basically with anybody who works because Mark is that good. Mark will do anything. He'll do anything that it looks like Mark will run any spots you want to run, long as it doesn't get him killed. And he will, you can, as long as you run spots that, you know what I mean? I can't say enough good things about Mark Briscoe. He's fantastic. I thought he and Ricochet did wonderfully well. It was a great match. And I think Mark is just the life of the party. I would pay Mark whatever amount of money it took to keep him in my locker room. And look, if you're not going to give him a world title, whatever. But people love that guy. They love him. They love his family. They love his story. And, I've always said that he should be AEW's R-Truth in as much as, hey, look, man, as long as you want to work here, you got a job here. And I would make sure of that. That's just me. I don't think Mark Briscoe has a downside. And, 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, could a Mark Briscoe have been a world champion? Maybe, maybe not. Today, he absolutely could. The landscape has changed. You guys know this. The landscape of pro wrestling has changed so much. Smaller guys, guys that you would never imagine being a world champion and, their gimmicks, whatever. But, and depending on the company that you're in, you can be an absolute hero, man. You can be a hero. You can be the top dog. And Mark is great no matter what company he's ever worked in. I just got nothing but love for Mark Briscoe, man. I'm not kidding. I just, fantastic. Gerald says Ricochet and Briscoe was an excellent match. I couldn't agree more. Really, really awesome. JP says usually in stretcher match doesn't ambulance leave it. Yeah, you know what? Well, it came into play later for the Anarchy in the Arena match. That was odd, wasn't it? I mean, we all figured it out, right? We all figured out later But wouldn't it have been cool if the ambulance had returned in the middle of the match and the doors burst open? It's Mark Briscoe diving out with like a scalpel, not a scalpel. It's like cold-blooded murder. We don't want that. But diving out of there was something. That would have been fun. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. But you're not wrong. That's usually how it goes. But yeah, again, I love this match. I think it was great. I was talking to Phil Lindsay after doing the 6M this past Wednesday. Shout out Phil Lindsay. Be sure, guys, you check out Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Phil and I host together all the time. Chris Patton's on there. Any assorted number of other co-hosts over the course of the year and everything. And Phil also is on Grapsity. Check out Grapsity in the morning on the YouTube. Him and Righteous Reg do a bang-up job. They're crushing it over there. So please go give them a follow on the YouTube as well for Grapsity. But we were talking about Ricochet, and basically I think it was Phil was suggesting that Ricochet should join. It wasn't the Hurt Syndicate. It was somebody else. I can't. I'll never think of it now. But it was a good idea. I don't think it was a Hurt Syndicate, but it was somebody else. But it just made a lot of sense. And now I'll never think of it. I'll have to ask him. Anyway, excellent match. Excellent match. What's up, Josh? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you for watching. Robin says, Tom, you have a ruggedly nice face for a podcast. A ruggedly nice face. It's much, much worse has been said about me, so I will take the words ruggedly nice face. The Mount Rushmore of Toms is Tom Hanks, Tom Petty, Tom Landry, and Tom Clark. Holy Lord. How about Tom Selleck? How about Tom Morello? Tom Selleck and Tom Morello might be on my Mount Rushmore Toms because I'm a big fan of both those guys. Maybe not Selleck's stuff outside of acting. But Tom Green, maybe. You guys, have you followed Tom Green at all in the past several years? That guy is insanely funny. You know, all that wild, wacky stuff he used to do back in the day, it was just like to get himself over. And Tom Green's a funny cat, man. Funny cat. Jeffrey says that would have been a better way if they did it that way with Briscoe jumping out of hospital. I love that. That would have been fantastic. That would have been fantastic. Let's move on. Speaking of the Hurt Syndicate defeated the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Hurt Syndicate, of course, with MVP and MJF to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This was a really, really good match that, in my opinion, nobody cared about. And we talked about this, Joe and I did, on last week's main event. But it's just one of those things where it's like, Dustin is freaking wonderful. He's great. Dustin is an absolute surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Dustin is an absolute legend. I have massive love for Dustin Rhodes. I think Sammy Guevara made mistakes, as we all have. But I think that Sammy having to pay for it for the amount of time that he's had to pay for it has been an interesting choice. And I know Sammy's a family man now, so congratulations and kudos to him. And hope everybody's good. But so I like him. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't hate these two guys together, but nobody, I don't believe, cared about this match. And this is not to discourage or disparage Dustin or Sammy. I just thought they were misplaced. And Dustin did everything in his power to make you care about this match. And I thought he did a great job. As we said last week, Dustin can talk anybody under the table. He's that good at it. And you notice I didn't say anything about anything else. Dustin by himself is a great promo. That's it. That's all you need to say. But I just didn't feel this. I didn't think the championships were in any kind of danger. And I thought it was an incredibly solid match, man. There was nothing about this match I didn't like. Let's just put it that way. It was great. But at the same time, championships weren't in any kind of danger. We knew it was going to happen. The MJF stuff felt awkward to me. Don't know what they're doing. You would think that his first time out there would go smooth as silk. It did not go smooth as silk. Really not sure what the end game is here for that. And to be honest with you, maybe we're not supposed to know for a while. Maybe it's just not going to play itself out for a bit. Who knows? Brenda says, I fixed a sandwich during this Don't apologize. I get it. I get it. I understand. I understand that. Tom Cruise and Tom from Tom and Jerry. I like that too. Tom Cruise stuff. I haven't I haven't decided if Tom Cruise is on the level or not. His interviews are great, and he looks like if he had $1,000 on him, he'd hand it to you. And he's the nicest guy on camera, the most friendly. But then you read deep dives on him about the Scientology stuff, and it is frightening. It's like people who know him through that church, and they're like, "Do not believe what you're seeing." I'm not here to, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just telling you, you're free to go Google stuff as you please. Danny says Lashley should be in the title picture instead of being a tag champion. He looks and dresses the part. You're not wrong. However, what the world did they do with the guy? We all thought from the moment he got there, he'd be in a world title picture. Me too. I said it. But if you do that, what then? That world title picture is absolutely jammed up with guys at this moment. There's so many guys in that company, and I'm not going to stray from this. There's so many guys in that company who right now today could win that world title and be believable champions. Many guys. Okay? And Lashley's one of them. But that is an embarrassment of riches for AEW. But as we've said before, it can also be an issue because if you choose not to pull the trigger on certain guys, then nothing's going to be happening. It's an interesting thing that they have going on over there. Huge roster. And again, world-class guys. Lash is a world-class talent. But hey, look, if nothing else, he's getting over. He's on TV every week. He's got a championship. Keep him in this bit for a while. And then when you want to put him in a world title picture, you can. Brennan says AEW Tag Division is hurting. The Grizzly Young veterans of Top Flight would have been a better choice. I love both those teams. I don't know what the GYT is going on. Excuse me, GYV. Pardon me. GYV is great. And Top Flight need their opportunity, and they're never going to get it. It doesn't look like. I mean, you gave it to Private Party and then butchered it, and they've been gone ever since. Butchered it. I don't know what they were thinking there. I'm not going to crow anymore about the Private Party stuff, man. So yeah, we saw the fallout this past Wednesday on the Hurt Syndicate stuff. MJF still with them. Still have no idea where they're going to go with this, but we shall see, right? So yeah, it's goodness, Lord only knows. We'll just find out together. But it's still an odd fit. Don't know what's going to happen with it. You would think that because the character of MJF is going to use these guys to get back to the world title, that's going to have to happen at some point. When and if that's going to happen, I couldn't say. We'll all find out together, I suppose. But again, this was a really good match that I don't think anybody cared about. And I don't think there was anybody in this match that anybody said, well, these guys suck. Did any of you feel that way? Because I didn't feel that way at all. This wasn't a matter of, why are these guys in this match? I don't think that was it at all. I mean, if you want a solid match to get over from a guy who's not only talented, but a veteran and has worked forever and still looks great, then you call Dustin, because Dustin gets the job done. He's so good. He's always been good, But still, I don't think a lot of people were feeling this, as has been said in the chat today. Let's talk about Kazuchika Okada defeating Speedball Mike Bailey to retain the AEW Continental Championship. This match was fantastic. Okada is still, if not the best in the world, way, way up there. Way, way up there. And I've always said that as long as Okada is breathing and is wrestling, he's the best wrestler in the world. They don't always give him opportunities to show that off, but he showed once again on Sunday. And look, this is not to disparage Speedball, because Speedball is great. However, if anybody thinks that Speedball made Okada look good, it's a give and take, as we know. Okada's great. And Speedball didn't need Okada's help to make him look good, but Okada helped, if I'm being straight. But both these guys are so incredibly talented. And Speedball is a demon out there. He's a madman. He's great. and it was an excellent match. I got nothing but praise 6 ways from Sunday about this match. It was a freaking fantastic. If you don't like this match, there's something wrong with you because it was awesome. There's just again, Okada's a Rainmaker, baby. And I love that Rainmaker clothesline, that's the deal breaker. Like the one-winged angel. You ain't kicking out of that. Okay? Not in this country. And you shouldn't, right? Danielson may have kicked it. Did Danielson kick out of the Rainmaker? He may have. Which, like, never happens. Remember when finishers used to be the finish and you could just depend on them? Boy, what happened to that? I tell you what happened to it. Everything happened to it. Because it's been years since that's been the case, isn't it? It just doesn't work like that anymore, man. It just doesn't. And he said, talk about being gone. What's been up? Yeah, Scorpio Sky's wanting the same thing. He's wanting the same thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you, man. You guys know this already, yeah? But in that company, Tony Khan has his favorites. I don't know why. It seems like not a good business to behave that way. What do I know? But it's, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all, man. You're paying guys to sit at home when they could be working, and Scorpio's one of them. What are we doing? I don't understand it, man. I don't get it at all. I know you guys don't either. I just don't get it. JP says, I think they're setting it for All In, but there's such a long time before that pay-per-view. They're killing time. 45 days. 44 days now. 43 days? 43 days away. Yeah, got some time. Anything can happen before then, too. Yeah. People could get hurt. Anything could happen. Hopefully nothing bad happens. But I'm saying anything could. Yeah. But you're right. It's going to be a while before it gets here for sure. Yeah. But again, Okada and Speedball. Speedball is making the case for why he should be taken seriously. He's not a gimmick. He's not just the hot wrestler of the moment. This guy's got an absolute future in that company as long as they want him there and as long as they continue to book him. I think it's just a matter of time for Speedball gets a championship. Don't know which one it's going to be. Don't think it's going to be Okada's. But I think we'll see Speedball with the title before too long. Could be Adam Cole's title. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I love that guy. And it was just, again, you watch pro wrestling in hopes of having a great pro wrestling match. And if any of you watching live right now or after the fact just don't care for AEW at all, if it's been a while, give it an opportunity. You're not going to find a perfect company, but neither is WWE. TNA is not a perfect company. Neither is GCW. Neither is New Japan. Every company has its flaws. Every company has things that objectively aren't good and subjectively aren't good as well. AEW is no different. But if you want, I was going to say 5-star matches, that term's been just destroyed over the years, hasn't it? If you want top level elite matches, no pun intended, AEW's got you, man. They've got you. Sorry. It's just truth. And not that no other company can, don't get me wrong, but man, they've got you. You know what I mean? Great stuff in that company in terms of these big matches. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Tony Storm retained the AEW Women's World Championship against Mina Shirakawa. So Tony and Mina are always going to have some odd chemistry. The kiss and the double entendre of what Tony says, which is hilarious. And the weird dancing that Mina does when she comes out. Never understood that. But they're always going to have that quirky relationship. And that's fine. That can be something they can revisit anytime they want to. I like Mina quite a bit. I would much rather her be on the roster than not be on the roster, so I'm glad she's there. Tony's a legend. We know what's going to happen with Tony and Mercedes at All In, July 12th in Texas. That's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see that event. That's going to be one for the ages, I think. I think they're going to just kill it that night. Just going to wreck it big time. It's going to be great. And we'll see who goes over in that match. But, man, as we said, Tony and Mina have great chemistry, and they had a really, really good match. And, no complaints. Again, another match with no complaints, man. Really, really good. Fernando says AEW is doing a great job with Speedball. Couldn't agree more. You're right. But, yeah, Tony Storm, I said this a year ago. I said this in the fall of 2024, that she was the best thing in pro wrestling. I stick to that. I was proven right. Just saying. She's great. Every time she has a mic in her hand, she proves how great she is, man. She just proves how great she is. Wonderful. Yeah. Danny, you're not wrong about Luchasaurus or Kill Switch. Yeah. I don't quote me, but I think he got injured. I think that's what happened. Don't quote me, but I believe that's what happened to him. So we'll see. Fernando says Mercedes versus Thomas Tone is going to be the biggest women's match ever. Don't know if it will be, but it certainly is going to be a big deal. And it's certainly more than likely going to bring the house down. I would hope. I believe it will. Kids, we've got 3 matches left to talk about on this card. Then we'll get to a couple of other things before we go open the floor up for comments. In the meantime, kids, if you will, watch this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today. BoinkStudios.com.
There you go. BoinkStudios.com, kids, if you will. Go, for me, if you will, and bookmark that page. I work on it all the time. It gets updated quite a bit. Maybe not the prettiest website you ever saw, but I like it. And all the links are there to all the podcasts from Boink Studios. All of our social media is there, as well as the social media of all the guys and gals that I record with on the Main Event and the 6M podcast. So if you will, please go check out boinkstudios.com. I would greatly appreciate it. And while we're here, kids, I'll go ahead and drop this link back in the chat if you guys would be so inclined. Costs you nothing to visit the link if you'd like to go check it out. This is buymeacoffee.com. Again, I would greatly appreciate any support you would like to throw my way. And if you don't want to throw any support my way, no harm, no foul. Okay. And also, once again, there's the link to the Boink Studios. If you've not subscribed to Boink Studios YouTube, please and thank you. Do that for me. That'd be awesome. Fernando says Thomas Tony's gimmick is Taker level great. Hard to dispute that. She is great. And you know what I love? I've said this before. Tony is owning her sexuality. She's owning her sexuality. She's owning her promos. The thing that and it's white men, can we be honest? It's men, but it's a lot of white men who have this weird obsession with men have to be men and women have to blah, blah, blah. Shut up. But like the biggest problem with that is like, well, women can't dress sexy. Why? Well, because blah, 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 blah. But see, the biggest problem with that is, number one, it's not you. Mind your business, right? But number two is no one in that company that I know of is telling these women, hey, you need to wear booty shorts. They need to be riding straight up. You need to say weird stuff. You need to grind on each other. But you know what company did do that? I'm just saying. I know. Don't anybody tell me, Tom, it's a different time. Tom, it's a different time. Fine. It doesn't excuse it, does it? It does not excuse it. Tony owns who she is. She's calling the shots. I think it's great. I love that stuff she does at any given time is sexy, but maybe a little lewd, but it's got that double entendre, and it might even make you a little uncomfortable. I love it. Men get away with saying stuff all the time and on Pro Wrestling Mike, and no one has anything negative to say. She should be able to be who she is and what she wants to do, and I think they're letting her do that, and I love her. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Robert says you mentioned earlier about matches that you already knew the outcome of. Well, last night on TNA Impact, I forgot who the challenger was, but it was a mixed tag team match that was historic because Santino Marella wrestling with his daughter, and Cena's job as creative director was on the line, even though you knew who would win. Just the fact the first father-daughter tag match happened was amazing. That is great. Is that the first father-daughter tag match of all time? Or would they even know that? Maybe it is of the major companies. They couldn't possibly say it's of the all-time ever. That's probably impossible. But maybe of the major companies, they could say that. Man, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't dislike Santino Marella. I thought Santino Marella in WWE, when he was doing that gimmick and the Milan Miracle and all that stuff, was really crushing it. And you know, the goofball stuff. Some people don't like the comedy in pro wrestling. I'm fine with it. I think there's a time and place for it, and I don't want too much. I don't want an entire comedy show. But you know, pro wrestling, as we know, kids, at its very, very best, is a variety show. It's got a little bit of everything. So a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of blood, a little bit of technical, a little bit of super heavyweight, a little bit of hardcore, a little bit of chain wrestling, a little bit of submission wrestling, you know, a little bit of high flying, all that stuff, man. As long as it's a variety show, I'm good with it, you know. So I always liked his shtick in WWE. Did it get old after a while? Yeah, but everything gets old. Everything gets old eventually. Everything needs a break and a breather to come back later and be fresh again. That's like any gimmick that's ever happened, I think. Let's talk about Anarchy in the Arena. This was effing great. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland as a Predator. Are you freaking kidding me? What a great dude. I love that guy. Love that guy. This is a great match, by the way. Kenny, Swerve, Willow Nightingale, and the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobb, and Katsuyori Shibata, with Prince Nana defeated the Death Riders of John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, and Wheeler Utah, and the Young Bucks. Great match. The right guys won. This absolutely should have been the faces that won this match, 100%. This was worth the price of admission. If you were there live, you got your money's worth in this match. Great stuff. And they had fun. And they played that friggin' Drowning Pool song. Like, how many times did that song loop back around? Like 4 times. And the crowd was into it. It's all that matters. And the fans loved it. Swerve jumping off a pallet off a forklift. Are you kidding me? Shut up. I just had a blast watching this. AEW will give you your money's worth. Okay? I don't think AEW likes to send anybody home unhappy. And, you know, in my opinion, people can take this or leave it. It's fine. In my opinion, I don't think the goal of that company is to go, things have to go our way because here's how we plan them and we don't care what you think. I don't think that's the case. I think they want to send people home happy, and they should. You want to know why? Because none of this is real. None of this is real. Like, let me give you an example. I'm a fan of The Last of Us. I never got into the game. Maybe I'll get into the game one of these days. But if you've been watching The Last of Us, the past few episodes have been tearjerkers. It's such a well-written show, and everything that's happening right now with the main characters, it's fantastic. And I just can't get over how freaking great it is. Pedro Pascal is wonderful in that show. And it's just a really good show. But like, main characters will die and stuff like that. And like the show's creators are like, well, you know, I think fans wanted this character to, and they just happened to. Fans want this character to have like to have a happy ending and to, you know, and to just be alive and be happy. And I'm like, but that's not the real world. I'm like, you're right, but this isn't the real world either. You're writing this. You're the one deciding that main characters need to die that rip your heart out. You control the narrative. You're right when you say that's not the real world, but you're not doing the real world. This is a show based on a video game. What are we talking about? It's the same thing that Snyder did with his, you know, scorched earth approach to all the DC movies. Well, Superman has to kill because in the real world, it's not the real world. This guy wearing a cape and a suit. What are you talking about? The real world? You control the narrative on these shows and these movies. You guys are writing them, right? Although in the real world, there wouldn't be a happy ending. The dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. So yeah, pro wrestling shows, in my opinion, should either send you home happy or send you home so upset that you can't wait to buy tickets to the next show. Want to know how? Want to know why? Because they're controlling the narrative. They're writing the stuff. Real life. Get out of here with your real life. Have you seen real life lately? It's not awesome. It's not awesome. And there's this Kenny Omega coming out in the Captain America shield was excellent. And had the trash can lid painted like the shield. Yeah. That's pretty fun. But yeah, Anarchy in the Arena, fantastic match. There's too many spots to recall. Such great stuff here. The staple gun. You're freaking kidding me with that stuff. And Swerve hitting everybody. Swerve hitting Wheeler Utah in midair. Click. And then one of the, I forget, was it Nick that had him on the mat? Click. And everything just click, 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 and it had a staple in his tongue through the end of the match. Swerve's a madman. Swerve's a fiend. This is a fun match, dude. This show was worth it. If the only thing you watched was Anarchy in the Arena, then you had a fun time. And you got your money's worth. Fantastic. Money's worth whether you bought a ticket or bought the pay-per-view. Fantastic. Great match. God, so much fun, dude. You're not going to find technical wrestling at its finest. You're not going to find legendary Hall of Fame performances. You're just going to find a fun match that everybody can get something out of. And that's what we had here. This match was freaking wonderful. Great match. We followed that up with the trios match of the Doink Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander, defeating Paragon of Adam Cole, Kyle Riley, and Roderick Strong. This match wasn't bad, but it was kind of just there. It was solid, don't get me wrong, and there's no dissing going on from me about any of these guys. Everybody in this match is insanely talented. We got veterans, we got younger guys. You can't, if Takeshi's in a match, I'm definitely not going to hate on it. This match was very, very strong and very good. Was it just kind of there based on everything else we'd seen to that point? Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. Fernando says entertainment is supposed to be an escape from the real world. Buddy, you said it. You said it for sure. We got one match left on the card, kids. Hangman Adam Page, of course, as we all know, defeated Will Ospreay by pinfall to win the 2025 Men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. That's a mouthful. And, of course, he's getting the All-In Championship match against John Moxley at the All-In on July 12th. My mom's birthday, actually. There you go. Great show. Great show. I can't say enough good things about it. It's just fantastic. Great show. All the way up and down. People talking about it's too long. I don't care. I just don't care. I understand the complaint. We talked about this before that if you have 10 matches and all 10 matches go over 20 minutes with some going 30 to 35 to maybe even 40, then how is there even a main event? In fact, I was probably one of the guys that said that before. But you know what? 2025. This is AEW style of pay-per-view. It's their style of show. Like, we can all hate it, I guess, if it makes us happy. I don't know why. But, like, this is what they do. They're not going to change their style. It is what it is. Again, do I believe that the main match on the card should be the biggest match on the card? Sure. But we're not in that anymore. That's not the reality we live in anymore. It's just not, dude. JP says this match would have been better on a different place on the card. Trios match, maybe should have just pulled the curtain on this. Jerk the curtain on the first match. I think that would have been fine. Great curtain jerk match. We're going to assume that Ray All Day is still on vacation there, kids. This guy is touring the world. Do you guys follow him on the Facebook? He is touring the world, man. Good for him. Safe travels, Ray Dean. For sure. Let's see. A couple different things that are happening. You guys know about the John Laurinaitis bit where Janelle Grant has dropped the charges against him. He is going to testify against Vince McMahon. You reap what you sow. Sorry. I got no sympathy at all. There's if one person says you suck and you're horrible, everybody's got one enemy, right? Everybody's got at least one person that doesn't really care for them. But brother, if you've got a lot of people, I'll tell you right now, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I won't get into all deep in the weeds and all the stuff that's going on legally because I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to comment. However, you reap what you sow. Laurinaitis going to save himself. Name of the game, baby. Save your back. Save your own back. That's what he's doing. And it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say because I'll bet it's not good. So, yeah, if you're Vince's attorneys, you may be pressing the panic button right about now. Should be. Fernando, you're right. I totally agree. Justice for Miss Grant, for sure. As we all know, last week, Trick Williams defeated Joe Hendry. Don't know what you guys think about that in terms of Hendry losing the championship. Phil Lindsay had an interesting take where he felt like Joe just wasn't getting it done. Don't know if I totally agreed with that, but I don't think it was really Joe. I think it was just the way he was getting booked, which I believe Phil was alluding to as well. But now Trick's champion now, so I like that guy a lot. So we'll see what they do with it. Harley Cameron did indeed get injured at Dynamite, which I'll be honest with you, the guys at the table immediately saw it. They immediately saw it because they were closest to the steps. So I don't know that was what has put her out, but she is taking some time off. No details yet on when the exact injury is. And look, as soon as the camera showed that blood on her face, you guys know that wasn't real. It was just too bright. The color was wrong. And, we all kind of knew that was a work. But I think this was probably just to cover up the fact that she's taken some time. But again, it could just be a nagging injury. Sometimes you'll have a knee or an ankle or whatever that you just don't address because you don't have time because you're on the road or you're always on TV. So eventually you have to address it. That could have been what happened here. I love Harley Cameron, dude. Harley Cameron is a gigantic breath of fresh air in that company when they really needed it. I think she's wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. I like her a lot, man. She's really awesome. And she's gotten much better in the ring, too. I just love the character. Can she hold her own with the world champ right now? Maybe not. But, she's, no one can dispute how far she's come. For sure. So, yeah, the next Bloodsport is coming. That was revealed a couple of days ago. And this is going to be August 2nd at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey. There you go. 3 Bloodsports in this year. And yeah, I still have yet to watch the last one. I need to catch that replay. I just have not done it yet. But yeah, just thought I hit a few headlines here for you. The finals are set for the New Japan Best Super Juniors. I got to catch up. Finals are on June 1st. I got some catching up to do. I got 3 days to go back and catch up on. I may do that tonight. We shall see how the time goes. Vanessa said WWE is burying TNA. WWE is going to do what WWE does. And WWE puts WWE first. They always have. So by that token, I will agree with you. Do I believe they're burying the company? I don't know if they're burying the company. But I do believe they're always going to show themselves in a better light than any other company around. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Floor is open, kids. Let's take a few minutes. We're already over an hour of the mark here. But if anybody's got anything non-pro wrestling related, anything anybody wants to talk about or any questions or comments or words of wisdom, please say it now. If you'd like to. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. Whatever you guys would like to do. And if no one has anything, we'll just call it a day. We'll call it a day and let everybody get to their weekend. Robbie says the man formerly known as Dolph Ziggler posted, he's Nick Nemeth, right? Posted a video comment that Trick didn't deserve to just out of nowhere get a TNA title shot when guys who worked the company had to wait their turn. Even said Joe deserved to still have the title. Is this real? Was he in character when he said this, or was this the real deal? Because it feels like something that a guy would say in character, but I could be wrong. Fernando says, what are your thoughts on Hulk being in Spider-Man 4? Number one, I hate it was leaked. I am not a fan of leaks. I don't like spoilers. I don't like any of that crap. I don't like that I know so much about, Fantastic Four. I know so much about other stuff, the Superman movie. I didn't want to know any of it. I just want to go see it, this world that some of these podcasters live in, some of these YouTube breaking news guys have to live in, where they gotta like, it's all for engagement. That's what it's all there for, man. They gotta be the first to get engagement. They gotta like, it's spoiler alert and breaking news and all this stuff. That little show I do on YouTube is nothing like that. I'm just giving you my opinion. I think I included the word spoiler in one of the videos in the title, just because I didn't want to ruin it for anybody that didn't know it. But that was it. It wasn't to get clicks. But everything about social media is in an effort to get clicks. There is no other reason for anybody to do anything on social media than to get clicks. All the talking heads that claim to care about you, they don't care about you. All these podcasters that say X, Y, and Z, they don't mean any of it. Okay. They just want your clicks. And I get it. I want your clicks too. All right. I'm not going to lie. I ask you to click all the time. I ask you to click, to subscribe, to follow my shows, to hit the like button. I want your clicks. I want your engagement as much as the next guy, but you're always going to get the real deal here. I'm not going to blow smoke up your skirt. I'm not going to do anything else that makes me come off like a schmuck, because I try not to be a schmuck. Right. And yeah, I just like to do this. I like to hang out. I love to podcast, and I love to meet new people and share ideas. And I love talking to smart people, which is why I record with who I record with, because I just enjoy doing this so much. Right. But like, again, they just want your engagement. But I'm not crazy about knowing this. Do I like that he's in it? Oh, of course I like that he's in it. Mark Ruffalo is great. And the Hulk is also great. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a fun movie. The Spider-Man movies are always fun. They always do a bang-up job making those fun movies, So yeah, Robbie says that Ziggler / Nick Nemeth thing was a real deal. Still seems like a weird thing to talk about. But I don't know. Interesting. JP says still up in the air with Trick Williams winning TNA Championship. Yeah, it's. I believe the purchase of TNA is coming, and that seems like a thing to just say, because it seems like an easy prediction. And I'm not saying it like that. I don't understand what's in it for WWE to do this. They certainly don't need the talent. I don't believe they do. They're cherry picking the locker room, because that's what WWE has done for years. They did it to Crockett. They did it to Gagne. They did it to Von Erich. They did it to any number of promoters out there. Bill Watts. They did it to everybody. Cherry pick locker rooms. Sign your talent, buy your promotion, close it down. It's what that company does. There's this notion that Triple H is different. Well, Tom Triple H is different. No, he's not. He's a WWE guy. He's a Vince guy. What are you talking about? He's different. He's not different at all. You know what I mean? This guy puts himself over every opportunity he has. He puts himself over all the time. This guy refers to himself as the game Triple H. To this day, why are you referring to yourself as the game Triple H? He comes out to his own interest music. Didn't he do it at Mania? Why are you doing that? What's the point of this? It ain't about you. Haven't been about you in a long time. Because it's WWE, and this is what they do. And he and Vince were like this on the booking. All those stories about how he wanted to do stuff and Vince told him no. Look at the stuff that's happened since Vince left. Look at the stuff that's happened. You're going to sit there and tell me that they're not of the same mind? Get out of here with that. I'm not with that at all, dude. I'm not falling for that. Fernando says, do you think fans will stop watching AEW if Payne doesn't win? I don't think AEW is ever going to lose their hardcore fans. They've lost a lot of casual fans. I think they lost a lot of lapsed fans who came back, who were the holdouts from when WCW was in business. I think they lost a good majority of them. I don't think they've lost the diehard AEW fans that have been there since day one. Don't think they lost us. Could they lose? Anything's possible. Booking makes all the difference in the world. Personnel changes oftentimes will dictate how your business is going to go, but the booking has a major, major influence on whether or not fans care about you or your product. That's not rocket science. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, right? It's the absolute truth. That's just how it is. Anything's possible. I think Hangman's winning at All In. I hope he does, because I feel like the time's come. Will it happen? Who knows? I think it's possible, Fernando. I don't have a great answer for you. I think it's possible, but I can't say for sure. Well, kids, there you have it. We got one more here. There you go. Maria says Heyman versus Will Ospreay was the greatest match I've ever seen. We didn't talk about the main event, did we? Yeah, we did talk about the main event. It was fantastic. It was just such a good match. These two guys they just killed it through the whole match. Will Ospreay is I was going to call him the future of the company. He's the now of that company. That's for sure. You know what's great about Will? As long as he stays healthy, they can pivot anytime they want to. Anytime they're ready, he's there. He's a great option to have. He's a great bullet in the gun, great bullet in the chamber, isn't he? He really is. Like, imagine not having that guy as all this is happening. He's just great. Will is real, and he's very honest, and people really respond to that. And it's like that endears him to the fans. I think it's wonderful. And I think he is, if you followed him in New Japan, you saw his heel run. And I think he's a really, really good heel. I think he's a better babyface. I just think his offense and his work lends itself more to him being a face. But he's a really good heel, too. And he'll turn heel eventually in AEW. Don't know how long it'll take. Don't know how long it'll take. But yeah, it was a great match for sure. Fernando says, how much money does Superman have to make to be successful for Guns DCU? That's a good question, Fernando. I don't know if I have a great answer for you. I think it needs to hit at least, 500 million sounds like a big number. It's got to get close. I think it's got to get up there. I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion, but I think it's got to get up there. I think it's got to make. If they get the critics, and if they get the fans, the money will come. Right? If the critics give it great reviews, and every time you see it previewed on your socials or on your streamers or whatever, however you're watching TV these days, and you get the so-and-so says best movie of the year, you go see the number one movie in America, the number one movie in the world, that influences people, man. There's this idea, this notion that people aren't influenced by reviews. You could not be more wrong. People are absolutely influenced by reviews, man. I think there's different levels of it, but I think to assume that people don't read or listen to reviews, I think that's insane. So I think if they get the reviews and the fans are on board, the box office will come. I think it's got to make a butt ton of money because they're spending a butt ton of money on it. I think it looks great, by the way. I can't wait to watch it. I'm a big fan of James Gunn, dude. JP, let's wrap it up with you. AEW would probably get fans to watch AEW All In as their only pay-per-view of the year, just like people only watch WrestleMania pay-per-view and then won't watch wrestling the rest of the year. That's fair, too. Hard to argue against that. It's like folks who don't watch the NBA regular season, they only watch playoffs. Fernando, we'll end with you, and that's it. Fernando says, have you heard the rumors of Bryan Cranston being on for Professor X? I love it, and I don't love it. I love it because he's great. Bryan Cranston is awesome. I don't love it because Bryan Cranston's how old is Bryan now? He's pushing 60, isn't he? Maybe older? Now, Professor X doesn't have to be a young man. That's true. But also, it's Bryan Cranston. This guy's he's a big deal. If you sign him, can you get him long term? There's also this rumor about who played Abraham Lincoln? Daniel Day-Lewis possibly being Magneto. You're going to get really? You're going to get Daniel Day-Lewis? And by the way, how long are you going to get him for? I'm thinking ahead. Whoever they get, I want these guys to be here in 10 years in terms of playing the characters. Do we see these two guys, if they were to be Professor X and Magneto, coming back and back and back and signing multi-picture deals? I don't know, dude. I just want to see everything work out. I'm a big comic book guy. I'm a big MCU guy. So, we'll see how it all plays out. For sure. Well, I'll find out together. Kids, that's all we got for you. I got to thank everybody for watching here live today and after the fact, listening and downloaded. Please, as we've always said before here, folks, go check out boinkstudios.com, B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com. Subscribe on the Boink Studios YouTube as well, if you will. That'd be great for me. See that address on the screen, buymeacoffee.com/Tom Clark. If you will, do me a favor and go throw a few bucks my way to buy yours truly a cup of coffee. I'll drink it on the air. I don't care. I'm crazy like that. That'd be awesome. That'd mean a lot to me. So if you guys would do that, that'd mean loads to me. Just be a small way to say thank you. I'm going to be here, folks. I love making content. I love hanging out with you, and I love the conversations we have. And I encourage you, if you've not checked out the other shows, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, movies, music, Marvel magazines, miniseries, and more. We cover everything. Okay, so go check it out. It's a pop culture / geek culture podcast. This past week we did side 1. We called side 1 of Outcast Stank On Ya, and then next week side 2 comes out. Where we cover side 2 of that album. The 24 tracks on that album is me and Chris Patton. The week after that, we're releasing our review of Superman 3. Yes, that's Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor. Holy Lord. It's a tough one, kids. If you grew up with it or if you just saw it after the fact, I don't know, but it's a tough one. But we really enjoyed doing the show, and I think you'll like it. That's me and Phil Lindsay. As always, we appreciate you watching the main event, checking out the 6M podcast. Be sure to check out Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. If you're a fan of Ted Lasso, we've got all 3 seasons in audio and video format on the YouTube and on the everywhere you get your favorite podcast. You can find it. We review the show. It's myself, Jay Loved, and Joe Higgins, and it's automatic, baby. Once we get in a groove, we're doing our thing. We did a very, very, very exhaustive deep dive on the Ted Lasso show. There could be better Ted Lasso review shows out there. There could be shows that are slicker and maybe more well-produced and sound great with a bunch of hoo-ha and doodads and stuff on it. But I submit you won't find a Ted Lasso review show that dove as deeply as we did and took as much time as we did on that show. I'm very proud of the work we did on the Two Nations show, and I hope that you will go check it out. Again, and wherever you get your podcasts, and the video versions are on the YouTube. Boink Studios on the YouTube. BOINK. You see it right there, kids. Boink Studios on the YouTube. If you'll go check it out, again, that means loads to me, and I greatly appreciate your time. Also on the YouTube, Tom Clark Reviews. It's a YouTube exclusive only show, kids. There's 4 episodes up right now. A new episode drops every Thursday, and I think you'll like it. And it's just me, no guests. It's not a podcast. It's YouTube exclusive. And so far, it's been fun. I enjoyed doing it. The first 4 episodes, I talk about the series finale of The Righteous Gemstones. I covered the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts. I talked about James Gunn's Superman trailer, and their newest episode that just dropped yesterday is news of the Michael Jackson biopic and news of the release delay on the film. So if you like any of those topics and you like stuff besides pro wrestling, then go check out Tom Clark Reviews on the Boink Studios YouTube channel. Again, that means loads to me. Kids, that's all I got for you. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much for giving me your time and attention and showing your love. That's always a big deal for me, kids. Everybody keep your heads up. Keep fighting out there. Take care of each other. Be nice to each other. Be tolerant. Be respectful. Be inclusive. Okay, we got one planet to live on as far as we know at the moment. This is all we got. Let's try not to F it up any more than we already have. And that's all I'll say. So again, I appreciate everybody here. And do me a favor, kids, if you will. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next week. If nothing happens, and nothing should happen, but if it does, I'll let everybody know here. But if something happens, it shouldn't happen. We'll be here a week from today, next Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Facebook for Boink Studios, right here on Tom Clark's Facebook. That's me. And again, check us out wherever we are online. I would greatly appreciate it. Kids, that's all we got. Do me a favor, folks, again, as we said, have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time, kids.